Abbey, let me read your bio, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Please, I don't know
Christine
who
has
this
spent
lovely
the
lady
last
is.
4 decades in an educational and spiritual pursuit of natural and balanced living. So many gifts to offer us through her life experiences. She has knowledge of physiology, nutrition, and diet through her experience as a fitness instructor and a personal trainer. She has experience in botany, plant chemistry, and herbal medicine making through her master herbalist degree that she received from 2007 to 2011. And the last 2 decades, she has spent as an organic gardener, a goat farmer, and homesteader. She has so much she could teach us. But today we're just picking herbal cleanses for vitality. She is an intuitive animal communicator and the spiritual leader of the Southwest Florida Women's Meditation Circle in Sarasota. Now, this is your plug, Christine, that I'm going to give, but you're always welcome to tell more about these particular things that Christine offers herbal consultations and animal communication sessions on the phone, in addition to spiritual ceremonies and herb classes at her farm in Arcadia. She also welcomes visitors to tour the farm to meet the goats.
They are the coolest.
The coolest. All right, Christine, take it away.
All right. Well, welcome everybody, and I'm so excited that you're all on this amazing healing and health journey. And I've been in that place my whole life, more just from a place of fascination. When I first got into fitness, God, this was back in the 90s. Okay, so yeah, I'm dating myself. But so all of this just comes from my curiosity and my deep desire to just learn as much as I could learn. So anyway, one of the important aspects of staying balanced and healing your body is, of course, this process that's called detoxing or cleansing of the body. And, here's the funny thing. So many times you're going to see things on social media and you're going to see doctors that say, oh, it's all bunk, it's all goofy, that doesn't do anything. And I can't even comprehend why they can even say that. Because your organs exist to clean your body. Like, that is literally the purpose of your liver. Your liver is your main detox organ in your body. And then your kidneys also help. And your bloodstream, although it is taking nutrients through your body, it's also carrying stuff out of your body that your body doesn't want. And then, of course, your digestive system, your colon, that is the first line of elimination. So if those areas of our body aren't working properly and they're not at their peak level, I mean, we already know that we have more toxins in our environment now than ever. So if we don't do something to help our bodies stay in tip-top shape, to be in a prime position to detox us and keep us healthy, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So once again, like, we don't have a whole lot of time to cover things, so that's why I have the documentation for you. But what I did want to talk about was maybe some things that you might not run across, because anyone can look up people do green juicing and stuff, and a lot of people talk about that, and all these things are good. So it's almost like you can take the information that I'm going to give you, but I'm going to tell you right up front that this is not the only way. I'm just giving you one. I'm giving you some possible things that you can try. And I know that they work because I've done them and they work for me. But definitely do your own research as well and look up other things that might also work. So the funny thing is because one of the things I want to talk about today is parasite cleanses. And that's another thing that is kind of supposedly controversial. And I just don't understand how we can all look out in the world and we are all constantly giving parasite medications to our animals, and somehow we think that we're immune to it. So somehow there's this false narrative that just because we're in quote unquote a first world country that we get parasites. Don't know that. They don't know the parasites are in the ground. They're in our food. They're microscopic. I mean, some of them you can see, but the ones that do the most damage are the ones that are microscopic. And I know that from raising goats. The tapeworms probably won't kill my goat, and the tapeworm is the one I can see coming out their butt, right? It looks like a string of tape or rope coming out. But the ones that kill the goats are the ones that are microscopic. I have to use a microscope in order to see that they have them.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many diseases for the goats that everything stems from parasites with them. So any illness that they get stems from a weakened body because of the fact that they have a parasite load, even if it's a small one. So anyway, that's one of the things I want to talk about today, because I think it's becoming more and more important, partly because it's not something that we talk about. So I know that our medical community isn't helping that many people with it. So I want you to know about it. But once again, you're going to research what is good for you. If for some reason you don't believe in parasites, that's fine. I'm just giving you my opinion from my training and from my experience. So in that regard, the first thing I want to share is the documents that I have shared with you. 2 of them are cleanses. One of them is called a 3-day juice cleanse. And I like that one just because it's easy. And that one is more, to me, that targets the bowels. And in the training that I took with the School of Natural Healing, and that's my education, Dr. Christopher was the one who founded the school, and his teaching stated that cleansing is a 4-part, the cleansing of the organs is in 4 parts. And the first line of cleansing, like the first thing you have to cleanse is the bowels. Because if you're constipated and you're not flowing in that area, nothing else is going to work properly. Everything else is going to be backed up, because the first place it's going to go is out the bowels. All right. So one of the cleanses that I gave you is the 3-day juice cleanse. It's really easy. It's only for 3 days. You just drink juice for 3 days. I'm not going to go over it specifically, but I want you to know that's one of the documents that is available to you. And to me, that's a good one. Just it's short and it's quick, and it kind of targets the bowels right away. And it's good to have that be the one probably that you do the most often, especially someone who tends to get constipated. Basically, I tell people you go by how you're feeling and if you're constipated. Right. So if you go through a couple of weeks where you're having some difficulties, guess what? You probably should just try the 3-day cleanse. And it's actually a dual juice cleanse, because you're supposed to take prune juice. We all know what that's for. But then you do another juice for the full cleanse. So you do some of the prune juice in the morning to keep things flowing and loosen things up. But then you take the other juice to just kind of cleanse out your whole body. So just know that that's one of the documents. And then the other one that is included, there's 3 of them. The other one is like a full body cleanse. That's the full organ cleanse, where the first one you detox is the bowels. The second one you detox is the liver. The third one you detox is the kidneys. And then the fourth one you detox is the bloodstream. And you need to do it in that order, because if you don't, things will get blocked. I'm sure many of you have heard horror stories about people doing cleanses and what an awful, awful, horrid experience it is. And it can be, because you're getting rid of toxins in your body, and you can get headaches, and you can get aches and pains. But here's the thing. The reason I'm talking about these first, before I talk about the parasite cleanse, is a parasite cleanse and or a heavy metal detox will be horrific if you don't do one of this other extended herbal cleanse first. So I'm going to tell you, this extended herbal cleanse, it's long, it's 7 weeks, and you can modify it if you want. You can try to do a 4-week one, and instead of adding something every 2 weeks, you add it every week. Just keep it in mind. These are foundational. You need to use your feminine intuition to kind of work with these. Like, look at these as a base platform to start with. Yeah. And if it's easier for you to just follow it, you can. But if you are going to do another cleanse, you're going to want to start with, at the very least, the 3-day. And then you may want to consider the extended herbal cleanse. And it's basically just making sure you're having a pretty clean diet. Dr. Christopher always recommended a vegetarian diet. you may or may not agree with that because I know aren't you guys mostly a keto group?
We are
Keto group?
focused on ketosis,
Okay,
not necessarily keto in getting there. A high protein, no matter how you get it.
got
High
it.
protein, low carb to stay in ketosis. If that
So I personally used to be a vegetarian. I am no longer because after 25 years, when I added meat back into my diet, it helped me a lot because I was starting to feel achy and sleepy and fatigue and brain fog and all these things. And when I switched to a keto diet based in red meat and chicken, it improved a lot. So my other point is equal to what I said earlier. You need to use your own intuition and try things that work for your body. But a vegetarian diet worked great for me for 25 years, and that's what Dr. Christopher taught. But from my own experience, I recognize that you have to be flexible.
right,
Because, when you read the science, we are omnivores, which means we're supposed to eat a huge range of things.
right.
And, flesh protein is one of those things is actually good for us. But that doesn't mean you can't do well as a vegetarian. Again, you have to work with yourself. But just make sure you're not eating processed foods and stuff when you're on a cleanse. Stick to good, healthy, organic vegetables and juices and, clean meats. Hopefully you can get them from maybe a local farmer or something so you're not getting stuff loaded in antibiotics and stuff like that. So whenever you're doing a cleanse, just make sure you're trying to keep your food absolutely. If you can't do 100% clean the rest of the time, when you're doing a cleanse, that's when you really want to focus on that. All right. So the extended herbal cleanse is just eating clean. And then it's basically just taking supplements. It's taking, it's taking a bowel formula, and then it's taking a liver and gallbladder formula, and then these formulas can come in a tincture, or an alcohol-free tincture, or capsules. So just know that that's what's listed in that other document for the extended herbal cleanse. You
Okay.
want
Where
to
are
make
these documents that you're talking about? Sorry to interrupt.
Are you on a laptop?
get them.
Are you on a laptop, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you open up the chat,
I don't see anything on the chat at all.
can you scroll up? Oh, okay. So this is on the,
I see that you said cheerful. I see doing great from iPad.
Well, and
And
here's the thing:
having
are you guys all on an email list also? Because I
yeah,
was sending her to send them all to you guys at
yeah,
the end.
yeah.
Okay.
They're all PDF files.
Oh,
Right.
cool. Well, that would be the best way to get them anyway in an email.
Definitely. I'll send them in an email to everybody.
That'd be cool, as I'd love to see, what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thanks. Sorry to interrupt, but I was like, what is she talking about? These
Yeah.
PDFs?
And
Okay.
like I said, and I'm going over it really quickly because I just want you to know what the documents are, but you can read them. But I'm not going to focus on them because I really want to focus on the parasite cleanse
Okay.
Cool.
for the remainder of our time. And also, the other thing I want you to know about was when people talk about cleansing the body, they make it sound like it's just like a one-time thing or a once-a-year thing or a twice-a-year thing. And yes, that's true for these super deep cleanses, but I also included on this third document, which is just an outline of what we're talking about today. It's the Herbal Cleansing for Vitality document that I put together. There's listings of foods that you should just add to your diet all the time if you're not eating them already.
Right.
So that's what I want to talk about first. I want you all to know that cleansing is an ongoing thing, and you don't have to necessarily do like a protocol. Just know that I'm going to give you these it's 6 foods and then 3 minerals that I think are important to take all the time because they help you with your vitality. Okay?
I'm gonna share my screen and show.
Okay, yeah, if you want to do that, because I have the daily cleansing foods and herbs for support.
Okay, so let me get that up.
Taking notes on my notepad.
Very good. Not that. Okay. Just a sec. Polyballs.
Well, while you get that, I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about the
Yep,
first one.
I got
The
it.
first one, okay, obviously, I'm sure you all are drinking good water, right? Are you drinking good water?
Yes.
You want to make sure
Filter.
it's either a filtered water or that it's sometimes you can even drink a distilled water.
Mhm.
If you've got like arthritis or joint issues, sometimes doing certain spurts of distilled water. I have my own water distiller because when I make herbal remedies, I also like using distilled water for that. Because they call it hungry water, right? It's water that has nothing in it, no minerals. So if you're making herbs out of that, in making your tinctures and stuff, you're going to pull a lot more of the benefits of the herbs out if you're using something like distilled water. So
Okay.
just know that in moderation, like for certain periods, if you've got aches and pains, arthritis especially,
Ooh.
trying periods like a month or two of drinking distilled water is really helpful. But adding raw apple cider vinegar or lemon to your water is really beneficial, especially if you start your day with that, if you're not doing it already. Sometimes, surprisingly, I have trouble with apple cider vinegar. I don't know why. It makes me feel really bloated and really uncomfortable. So I can do it in maybe smaller doses, but I never have trouble with lemon or even lime juice in my water.
Right.
So I usually do that one a lot more often. And what that does is it helps alkalize your body. There's very few people that are too alkaline. Most of us are too acidic based on our diets and based on the toxins. So surprisingly, you would think that drinking something that's acid would acidify your body, and it doesn't because it digests in your body as an alkalizer. So it's such a simple thing to do, and it is so beneficial for your system. So it's a great way to start your day. 8 or 12 ounces of water with a tablespoon of either raw apple cider vinegar, you know, the kinds with the mother, or, you know, you can buy bottled lemon or lime juice, but of course it's always better if you can get the fresh fruit, get a fresh lemon or fresh lime. Either way, it's beneficial, but, you know, if you really want to go all out, get the fresh fruits to juice and put that in your water. So that's something that's going to help cleanse you and balance you every day. Another thing that's really good for your system just all the time, and not only as something that helps cleanse your body, but garlic, it cleanses your arteries. So people that have issues with high blood pressure and stuff like that also, that's another reason garlic is good. Garlic supports your immune system. But it's also just it helps with everything. So garlic is just something, just add it to your diet all the time. You really can't overdo the garlic, okay? Unless you have a specific allergy or something, of course. And, you know, some people might be more able to handle it cooked versus raw. And either way, just get it in you. Cook with it, put it in your soups. When I'm sick, I take a lot of garlic, I chop it up, and I put it in a little bit of olive oil. And then I put like a rounded teaspoon on a cracker, and I will literally take that every 2 hours. And
Wow.
that's it got me through COVID. It gets me through, I hardly ever get sick, but when I do a lots of garlic.
Same here, 100%.
Awesome.
Another like cleansing, healing herb that you can take all the time is ginger. Okay? Ginger is, it helps your circulation. Okay? It's also something that is specific for your gut brain connection, because whenever I create any kind of formulas that are good for your brain, I always add ginger to it, because ginger is a specific that helps pull the herbs into the brain. So ginger helps your brain also. It also helps your digestion. So these are, to me, you know, these are like super herbs. Not necessarily super foods, but super herbs. So, I mean, they are foods too, but they're not like you're going to eat a pile of broccoli. You know, you're just going to take a little bit of garlic or a little bit of ginger. But
Uh-huh.
ginger is just, it's fabulous. You can take it all the time. You can drink ginger tea. You can put ginger in your foods. You know, things like if you're making Thai food or Chinese food, you know, they always cook with tons of ginger.
Yep.
So you can add ginger to your diet in a lot of different ways. You can even make fresh ginger root tea by slicing up fresh ginger in a pot of water and boil it on the stove for 20 minutes.
Every day. Yep.
Add a little bit of honey. It's excellent for digestion. If you have any digestive problems, you can always take ginger tea after meals.
Yummy.
Okay? So ginger every day, all the time. Now, some people are funny with the fourth herb, which is cilantro. I know for some people, you've got a funny taste bud, and it tastes like soap. I am fortunate that I'm not one of those people, and I love cilantro. Cilantro is a cleansing and a metal detoxing herb. All right. If you have got fillings in your teeth still from when you were a child, for those of us that are over 30, I don't know when they stopped doing the metal fillings. I have them from way back in the day. So cilantro is one of the herbs you can use for heavy metal detox. So, but it's also something that you can just eat a lot. Now, this is another herb that if you have any kind of I talk about digestive challenges a lot because I have them. So a lot of these I take a lot for myself. So cilantro is one that I try to get on my diet a lot. Whenever I make things like tacos or whatever, I make sure when I make homemade salsa, I always put cilantro in it. So just know that that's a good herb to throw in as much as you can. And then another one is dandelion. And that one helps more with the liver. I think it does also help with the kidneys too. But dandelion leaf, even as a food, all right, dandelion helps with digestion because it's a bitter herb. And our U.S. food, our culture is so low in the bitters department. So other cultures are so much better at eating bitters than we are. So dandelion, if it's something you can tolerate, and yes, it is bitter, but you know what? Once you allow your taste buds to adapt, you might be surprised if you're not someone who normally eats dandelion leaf. It makes a really wonderful cooked green. And I don't know, I have this belief that when your body learns that it feels better, with a certain food that you eat, your taste buds will change to love that herb because your body learns to just love how it makes you feel. I definitely believe there's an energetic link there. You agreeing? Yeah, Terry, you have a story?
I know I have a question. Where,
Mhm.
so like I'm saying, like it says leaf is food or root is tea. Where can you get dandelion root?
Yeah, I've seen dandelion at grocery stores like Publix and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
You can
Okay.
also get them at farmers markets, and you can also grow it. Now, you can grow regular dandelion that has like the flowers, and I do think that that will grow in Florida, but you can buy special dandelion seeds that are a slightly different variety. It's still dandelion, it's still in the same family, but it doesn't produce the flowers, and it's specifically grown for the greens. So the greens get a lot bigger.
Okay, so I'm not growing anything. Like I
Okay.
can buy it and then like with the ginger that I do boil, like I can throw the root in there and add
Yeah.
that to the tea, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna put honey in it. I have to.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
definitely.
mask a little bit of that.
Dandelion's very bitter, so it's
Yeah.
definitely good to add a little honey to it for
Okay,
sure.
but that's great to
So
know because
that's something you can
dandelion,
add.
yeah.
You can add to your ginger tea, or like I said, you can add it as a food, as a cooked green, eating the dandelion leaf. It's just all around. Like I don't know, these are kind of my top five. Actually, the one I feel like is missing is turmeric.
Oh yeah, every
That's
day.
another one that I really love. And that's more for anti-inflammatory and pain reduction and stuff, but it's also very antioxidant, which is anti-aging.
Yep.
So I put that on there. So if you want to write that one down, it's not really for cleanse. It can be used for cleansing too, but I guess I was focusing more on cleansing foods and
Yeah. No, I
herbs.
have that every single day, but the dandelion's brandy new to me. That's fabulous.
Yes, and definitely a very good liver herb. Out of all the organs, I'm not going to say that one organ is more important than the other because obviously you need all of them. But I think the one that is the most neglected and is the one that's the most under stress in our day and age is the liver. So any opportunity you can add stuff that supports the liver organ,
So
I think is really important.
I am very interested in a liver detox. I'm all about the lemon to your water first thing in but and dandelion for the liver as well. Is there anything else that's not an extended herbal cleanse that for the liver specifically?
You wanted to do the liver, I mean, the liver formula that's part of the extended herbal cleanse, you could do just that. You could do just the liver formula.
Okay.
And it doesn't even have to be Dr. Christopher's. Like the documentation I'm providing you is specific to Dr. Christopher because I'm partial because that's the school I went to and I love their protocol and I love their herbs because that company is the one who founded the recipes that is now being put together by a company out in Utah.
Okay.
So, but you can go on Amazon and you can get any kind of liver cleanse. It's usually going to have milk thistle, and I think it's barberry. Barberry is another really good liver herb, as well as the dandelion, and I'm sure there's a few other. There might be some golden seal in there. So, so you can just just look up, a liver formula if you don't want to use the Dr. Christopher one. But I've found it's called Christopher Brands. So Christopher Brands is sold on places like Amazon, or the other place I've got them is Vitacost, is a place where I get a lot of supplements. Because I try not to use Amazon that much because I'm not a fan of the company. I don't like Bezos. I shop by people I like. I like to shop with families that I trust. Now brand is another brand I like because it's a family-owned brand.
Yep.
If you want to make a note of that. So anyway, Dr. Christopher has it, but you can also look up a liver formula and just take that. Or even just milk thistle is helpful. But I like the blends.
Christine, what if I told you that we're running out of time, and would you come back next week and talk about the parasite cleanse?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that because I already gave you guys the foundation. So
Yeah, it was like part 1, and then next Monday part 2.
Okay.
I'd be thrilled. I mean, you feel like you could, because you wanted to spend most of that time about the parasite cleanse anyway, and
Exactly.
and I really want that information. What? Go ahead.
Well, let me just cover that last couple on that list.
Sure.
Because only one of them needs a description. Fermented foods.
Yep.
We don't talk about it enough. And I'll be honest with you, the yogurt at the store is probably not your best choice. So find a farm that makes homemade fresh yogurt. Find some real sauerkraut, not the sauerkraut at Publix that probably just pours vinegar on it. You want actual fermented.
Right.
You can go to farmers markets like in Sarasota, and that's all they do. They do fermented foods, and you can buy stuff from them. So start looking into stuff like that. Kombucha, you can get kombucha because that's a drink that's fermented.
Right.
Okay.
And that adds
Cheese is
pre-and
fermented food if you don't mind dairy.
Okay.
All right. So then very quickly, I don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but if there are the most important minerals that are going to help your body the most to keep it in the tip-top shape for vitality, 90% of women are low in magnesium.
Wow.
Even though we live in Florida, so many of us are low in vitamin D, in part because doctors have convinced us we need to wear sunscreen every day, and guess what does not get into your skin when you're wearing sunscreen? Especially if you're wearing makeup with sunscreen on your face, your body can't make vitamin D. So unless you're spending 20 minutes in direct sun on your full body every day, you should be taking a vitamin D with K2. I didn't write that on there, but you really should have the K2 with it. And then the last thing is I highly, highly, highly recommend fulvic minerals.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
What it is, you have the top, 13 minerals and nutrients that are in most vitamins. There's really 50 that we need, or 100. So the fulvic minerals is like a tincture. It's a liquid. You can also take the Shilajit. It's similar. They have like 100 different tiny amounts of vitamins and minerals that you need in your body every day in a natural form that's not been extracted in a lab, because it comes from foods. And it just gives you all these different nutrients that you need for your
How
body.
do you find that? Like, if I go to my little
Online,
store,
just do a search. So you can find it on Amazon. You can find it at Vitacost. You can find it at any herb store or natural food store or Whole Foods or any of those kinds of places.
you're looking for something that's literally called fulvic minerals, and I don't know what the Shilajit.
They might call it fulvic acid. Sometimes they'll change it, the wording. And Shilajit it's a really sticky substance. It looks like tar, and it tastes like dirt. But you're supposed to mix it in water. I usually mix it in like 2 tablespoons of water. So when you dilute it, it doesn't taste bad. But I'm an herbalist. I'm used to eating weird things. So I see it on TikTok all the time. People sell stuff on TikTok sometimes, and there was a period where everyone was selling the Shilajit, so it was all over. And I tried it one time, and it was pretty good. But I usually use the fulvic minerals.
All right.
Okay, so fulvic minerals is the name of something. If I go to my Whole Food store right around the corner from me, I can say, "Do you have it's like would be a tablet or a
A liquid. It's most likely going to be a liquid, like a
fulvic?"
tincture.
Oh, okay, okay,
So, but it's a tincture that has the minerals in it.
okay.
So it's either called fulvic minerals or it might be called fulvic acid. And if they don't know what you're talking about, you might not want to deal with that
Run away. Yeah, okay,
company if they don't understand what it is.
okay,
But look it up online, and you'll see if there might be other names for it, but I'm pretty sure it's either fulvic minerals or fulvic acid.
okay. Cool.
I
Thank
don't
you.
remember what fulvic means, but I just know that means it's this huge spectrum.